Skullfly.
Dude, been there, bro.
I am very sorry about that. All right, I think it's now working.
Awesome.
Please tell. It's working. Yes,
We made it.
we did it. Thank God. All right. I can see lag on my phone where I'm just going, yay! Okay. Awesome. Where were we?
We were talking a little bit about BlackBerry, then we got into the box office. So box office for I don't know if any other movie at the end of the year is going to even make it in the top 5. Like,
yeah,
could Songbirds and Snakes possibly sneak in that? Like, is Hunger Games still like that big?
I'll say this. I talked to a few people about that. Like, especially I talked to Hunger Games fans in general. I was asking them, like, hey, are you guys excited for this movie? And you know what? I'll say this about the goodwill. It's there. Like, folks are interested in like people still are happy with the whole thing overall. Where it's like, if you ask them, like, what do they think? It's gonna fall again. Where they talk about Hunger Games, and they're like, oh no, we're still fans of it. We still find it, it's beloved and stuff like that. So, I asked, like, are you guys excited to see the new one? It's like, yeah. So, I'll take it as like a good sign, where it's like they want to see more. So yeah, I mean, I think it'll do some money for sure.
Yeah. Like, and a lot of the fan base seems very positive about this one. Like, people who've read all the books. I actually have read the original trilogy. I just haven't read this one, but people say the book is really good. Yeah, I mean, Rachel Zegler's doing crazy numbers right now. She's also going to be in Snow White, so very recognizable face attached to it. So it just seems like it could possibly sneak into the top 10. I don't know, top 5, but maybe sneak up in that top 10 and bump somebody out.
Yeah, probably. Rachel Zegler doing numbers is a question mark.
Right. It's not her. It's the franchise. It's like
Yeah, I know, and it sucks. Like in the case of West Side Story, it was kind of like a thing where it was like, it came out right next to Spider-Man. The timing was awful, so bad. But in the case of like Shazam 2, I genuinely like I asked my dad 3 months after it went on streaming, and he's a comic book fan and all that. I was like, hey, did you watch Shazam 2? He was like, it came out, and I was like, yeah, Dad, it did. So.
Yeah, it's funny because my dad actually texted me and he's like, so what's up with all this Flash controversy? And we talked about it a little bit, and I was like, did you know that Shazam 2 came out this year as well? He's like, who? I was like, oh.
Yeah. That's not fun. Like, I had more people for Equalizer 3 on Thursday night at 10 o'clock than I did for Shazam on opening night. And that should tell you everything you need to know.
Yep, that's ridiculous. Somebody in the chat saying Aquaman 2 could be possible.
Yeah, sure. Okay. I mean, look. I'm gonna plead the fifth on Aquaman 2 until Aquaman 2 actually feels like it's happening.
Yeah, because like the problem with Aquaman 2 is like, okay, the first one was that DCEU gem. It was like, okay, $1 billion. It's our big boy. But they should have put out Aquaman 2 before the rest of this crap. Like, it should have came before Shazam, should have came before Flash. And I know narratively, it probably would make sense to actually have Flash be last.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure they're doing reshoots and all that crap. But narratively, you squeeze that in, they probably would have had like a pre-summer. Think about if that came out in the Flash spot. I think that would have did a lot better for them than the Flash. Because the controversy, a lot of people weren't seeing it for the controversy. I mean, I have 2 friends who are just very casual moviegoers. They go to see the big stuff. We saw John Wick together. They'll probably see Equalizer 3. But like, they were like, no, I'm not going to see the Flash because of the lead actor. And I'm like, I mean, even people who don't know movies know about Ezra Miller. And then also the James Gunn coming out announcing the DCEU.
Yeah. DCU.
It's just kind of it's like it's just the timing is so off. But
yeah, it kind of sucks. Like everybody I knew that was watching The Flash was excited because they wanted to see Sasha Calle as Supergirl. So and they all ended up loving they all ended up loving Supergirl and Keaton. So everybody I knew went to see those things. Like when I asked, like, are you excited to see The Flash in The Flash? It's like, no. It's like, okay, there you go. So I mean, it's all good, you know. It's fine. Aquaman might be Aquaman might be a bigger hit for them also by proxy, because now it's clear there's nothing else there, so they've got a straight shot to
also look at Momoa. I mean, Fast X did crazy numbers overseas.
Yeah,
the overseas crowd loves Jason Momoa.
Yeah,
they really like James Wan. You could get that marriage again. I'm not entirely sure if billion is I think out of reach. But I think 500 million's not impossible for Aquaman 2.
Not impossible.
Especially because isn't it WB's last, which is weird that they got Wonka, The Color Purple, and Aquaman 2 all coming out. Oh, I think Color Purple comes out after. So weird situation with Warner Brothers, but
right. Yeah, that company's financial decisions make no sense to me right now. Look, I have been following WB's entire strategy for the last year, and it's all nonsense. Like there is someone will make the argument saying that, hey, but Barbie happened. It's like, yeah, but Barbie's not successful because of Warner Brothers. It's successful because of Margot Robbie and Greta Gerwig, and Gosling, like that. Like it's their movie. It's not because Warner Brothers did a good job of it, you know, or it's the similar thing with things are on off with Marvel right now, but Guardians 3 was a success. It's like, why? Because it's like, yeah, James Gunn did the movie. Like people had faith, you know. So I don't know. I think you know, if people want to show up, you know, they will. I think Aquaman is also great because like the first one I remember did numbers also because people wanted to see Atlantis and like IMAX and stuff like that. Because I remember I was taking my parents because I was visiting them and they were like, hey, let's do something for Christmas. And I was like, yeah, do you guys want to go see Aquaman? And they did a double feature of that and Spider-Verse, actually.
Great feature. That's a great double feature.
Great double feature. And we started off with Spider-Verse. So I was like, you know, to make sure you get the best movie out first, and then we'll go to Aquaman. But yeah, I remember going into IMAX, it was sold out, completely gone, and like people wanted to go see that for like a couple of weeks after. It was really selling. So if you get that visual experience out of it, people will show up. It's just one of those things, you know. But also it's the question of what validity does it have now with DC?
Yeah, because it's very when the first one came out, DC was still fresh. They were still kind of new. Wonder Woman had some really good box office return. And then was Justice League before Aquaman?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, so Justice League kind of introduced Momoa's Aquaman, and I didn't really like that version, but when James Wan took Momoa and really molded like this kind of different story for this Aquaman, I really liked it. Like I actually really like Aquaman. I know a lot of people don't like that one as much, but I actually liked it more than Man of Steel. But I think that a mix of Momoa, Wan, and that, like you said, the curiosity of Atlantis. The problem here, last year we were watching Avatar 2, and it's like, okay, like if we have an underwater sequence that looks worse, that could potentially be a drive away.
Yeah,
factor
100%.
For
100%. Just want to answer a question real quick. Is Shara going to Jawan next week and excited for his review on Shah Rukh Khan's Mask Commercial? Yes, I am going for that next week. I already got a ticket for it. I will be reviewing it. Looking forward to talking about it.
What's the film?
Jawan. It's a Bollywood movie. It's got Shah Rukh Khan in it, the biggest actor ever in Bollywood. So
sweet.
Yeah, should be exciting. He had 2 films this year. That was the ones that coming up, and he had one in January called Pathan, which I recommend watching because you'll have a fun time with it.
What's it called? Bataan, you said?
Yeah, Pathaan. Yeah, I think that's it. So yeah, it's a fun movie. It's a big, loud movie. It's a good time.
I see some posters for this, man. Yeah, I'll definitely be checking that out.
So the next one's an IMAX, and it's completely sold out opening weekend. So people are excited.
Well, dang, okay.
People are excited.
Awesome.
Yeah, and also the IMAX has got the Marvels has got IMAX now. It might help them to gain more box office. Yeah, it could. Yeah.
It could. I'm worried about the replay on the Marvels. Is it going to be a movie like, I don't even want to say No Way Home, but let's even say like the first one where it's like there's multiple watches, is it going to bring people back multiple times is the only concern I have, which would put it at around Quantumania level. So we'll have to see what the rewatchability and value feels like for that one, but for 147, it feels like one I could watch 2 or 3 times if it's good. Like if it's good, like hour 47 isn't that long. So
I am actually I want to know how long it actually is because because there's so much confusion around this runtime. So 3 days ago it was 2 hours. Then the next day it was an hour 47. Then the day after that it was a 1 hour and 33 minutes.
Right, I saw that when I was like, where are we going with that?
Like, what are you doing? Like, so at that point I was like, listen, unless everybody has a final confirmation on the runtime, let's just stop with the scooping for now. Like, I mean, I don't know. But I'm also interested because I've seen the other stuff that Nia DaCosta has done. I like her movies. So like, you know, like I still recommend her Candyman movie to people.
So good, man.
I thought it was really, really good. And so after watching that, actually I was kind of like, I think she's got the juice for this one too. I think it's gonna be good. But we'll see. I mean, I'll tell you this: it's probably gonna help comic sales because Iman's currently doing a Miss Marvel series, and
she's heavily involved.
Yeah, she's writing it, and she's and the new issue for that. I think one of them comes out just before the movie, and another comes out just after the movie. So you probably sell a lot of issues too, you know.
They straight up made Miss Marvel a mutant now. She's no longer an Inhuman. I was like, okay, hey, they went with the MCU route. Let's do it. I think it works either way. I mean, it's like the Inhumans basically are mutants, so it's like, okay, let's do it.
Well, in the comics, in the MCU, they don't like to acknowledge.
Right. Not in the MCU, they don't even have mutants yet. So it's like, well, we'll see what they do with that. Well, I guess she's the first one. So but it's like, okay, Terrigen Mist or X Gene. You pick your poison. You're gonna be an Inhuman or a mutant. But I the Inhumans Marvel stuff. It just seems like they want to just put that behind closed doors as much as possible.
I don't think people even like. Yeah, we don't talk about that one. Like, it really doesn't. I feel like that's one of those things where if you ask Kevin Feige, what do you think of the Inhumans, he might actually kill you. Like,
right? He's like, what was that again? Did I just see a bullet fly through my window? like
just see a red dot appear on your shirt. Like,
right?
Oh,
like,
fuck. It's over.
Breaking Bad style, just like, he just walks in like, I didn't say anything, Kev, I promise.
Yeah. I have faith in James Wan. I hope he delivers again, but the studio interfered with his film with massive reshoots. I pray it does not hurt the screenplay.
Massive reshoots.
Yeah, that happened. I think they also cut down screen time for a few characters from what I heard. So
and they switched Bruce Wayne's. They were like flip-flopping between Ben Affleck and then Keaton. That's right. I was like, I think Clooney might have even had something in there. I was like, what are we doing, man? I don't think they knew what they wanted to do, but it's funny that you remember that sizzle that came out last year? The Batman, Aquaman 2, Black Adam, The Flash. It's funny that like 2 of those didn't even come out that year. And then it's like, okay, one of them is in reshoot hell. The other one bombed at the box office. I think Shazam 2 was in that too.
Yeah.
Did nothing. See, here's the thing about Shazam 2. They made a big splash at Comic-Con SDCC 2022. They should have just dropped that movie there. Like, I know that sounds crazy to like, they're not going to drop a full movie. No, I know. But like, that would have been a great opportunity for them to just put it out there so they could get some free press. Because that, like, the first one even made like, what, 300 million on a 150 budget or something? I'm like, that's not great. It's not the worst. It's certainly not their biggest flop, but that's not great. And if they just said, well, what if we just show you guys Shazam 2 right now? Everybody would freak out. It would be tweets going out and everything. And then they showed it to the Comic-Con, the SDCC audience. You got all these reactions, all this like, oh my God, it's actually pretty cool. Even if it's like bad, you still have all these reactions coming out. And I think it was supposed to come out that December, and then you got all this free press. I don't know what's going on with them and their marketing strategy. They just and dude, I was at SDCC 2022 in Hall H. They passed out all these like free tickets for Black Adam, and they had these like glowing like necklace things, and it would like glow up. They dropped the lights, and they had like this animatronic Black Adam come out, and he's like, get ready to change the DC universe, and all that for Black Adam to completely bomb is embarrassing.
Yeah,
embarrassing.
Yeah, the hierarchy of power, the whole thing. I ended up buying
it. All right,
he
changed it. He sure did change that box office.
I mean, he did get me to buy Zoa Energy for once, so I just.
How was it? I didn't buy it.
I did. I got the orange one, which is not bad actually. It was pretty good. Like, but it's got it hits. Like, if you have a lot of it, it really does not put you to sleep for a long ass time. But yeah, it was fun. You know, I kind of went with the meme after a while. I was like, guys, I changed the hierarchy of my energy drink. I changed the hierarchy of this apartment. Like, I went and saw Black Adam on my birthday. Like, hierarchy of birthday has changed. So
changed forever. And like him saying that, I'm like, yeah, you completely destroyed the rest of the DCEU.
Yeah, there you go.
The rest after was just boop. And see, why did he not? My whole thing about Black Adam is like, that was the perfect opportunity to be like, have Shazam pop up, talk about Shazam 2. Okay, Black Adam's appearing in Shazam 2. Like, Shazam 2 should have just had Black Adam be the villain.
Yeah, he should.
Like,
yeah.
I don't understand why we needed to have Helen Mirren and Lucy Liu. Bless their hearts. They're wonderful actresses, but they definitely were just working with what they got, and it was not great. So they should have just cut the sisters stuff, have Black Adam be the guy. Then you get the Rock in, and then okay, Superman appears at the end of Black Adam. Black Adam goes and be, for whatever reason they want to write, he's the villain of Shazam 2. And then it's Shazam and Superman versus Black Adam. You got Henry Cavill Superman back. You've got a reason for people to go see Shazam 2. And then you kind of like split the family up a little bit to where it is like Billy and Superman are fighting against Black Adam, and the family is maybe tied up with something. But I don't know, man. They completely dropped the ball on all that. So.
Those are very interesting ideas. They should have made that movie. Why are you not on the writing team for the movie?
Like, it came out. It's called Shazam and Superman versus Black Adam. It was the animated movie. And I'm like, copy, paste. Just copy, paste. That's all you gotta do.
That's all you gotta do. Like, I mean, like, if you want to do your own thing, which is like in the Flash, you could have just done a Flashpoint remake, but I mean, that's fine. But like, yeah, when you already have the blueprint, just work with it. It's as simple as that, you know?
And it was so weird that, like, I felt like the Rock came in and thought he was going to be like Kevin Feige. And it was like, dude, they're hiring 2 guys behind your back as you speak. So he's like, yeah, we got Cavill back. And a week later, Cavill's like, psych, actually, I'm not Superman anymore.
Yeah, that's the part I think that hurt people the most when I like really think about it, because it's like, you could say that, oh, it's because James Gunn announced that all of this is going to be useless in a little bit. You know, it's like, yeah, sure. But also the big part is you had a big announcement that Superman's coming back, and you made a whole publicity thing around that. And then he's not in the movie, and, you know, he's not in the movies going forward. And so it's like, well, now you've upset the people now, man. So yeah, it just feels like it really messed up everything.
Yeah, and you know, a lot of people on Twitter will blame James Gunn's presentation, but I don't think that has as much weight as people think. Like, people like you and I who keep up with this stuff on a regular, people who are on YouTube, people who are on Twitter very often, obviously, like, yeah, we keep up with that, but we're like 10% of the movie-going audience. The rest of everybody else is like, when did that happen? Like, there are people who go and see these movies regularly who are like, oh yeah, like I didn't know that happened. So I just don't think that has everything to do with it. I just think, to be honest, they just damaged our brand. Like Black Adam wasn't that great. Then, like you said, they fire Henry Cavill. Word starts circulating that these are the last few movies. Nobody knows about Shazam 2 anyway. Like, they just kind of damaged their brand, honestly.
Yeah. Aquaman 2 will have the shortest marketing for a superhero film in recent years. Did they do it for marketing, or the Flash loss is going to hurt Aquaman 2's marketing? So, interestingly, unless you count the teaser trailer from Comic-Con, I think the marketing of Wakanda Forever was 1 month. And it was all in October. And between trailer, posters, action figures, everything happened in October. And the movie came out November 11th or something like that. So I remember that time I was talking to another friend of mine, and we were waiting for Wakanda Forever, and I was like, where is everything? Like, this is like a big movie, and there's no marketing. And then I think October first week they dropped everything. Tickets are live now. Trailers here, posters are here, and it's like, oh, okay, movie's a month out. So, I mean, it's not like it's little, you know, it's not like it's not happened before. But even in that time, it was kind of like, you know, you waited until a very, very late amount of time to actually do something when, you know, we had some more time to do it. But then Marvel was also doing like 5,000 things that time. So
yeah, and they had the teaser come out around Comic-Con time, so they dropped it at SDCC and then dropped it online. It came out, and so that gave people a little bit of a heads up. I think with that though, it's such a special case with Chadwick's passing, unfortunately, and there's so much speculation on who's that next Black Panther. That really carried the film through months after that teaser. So that carried that film, but it's like there's nothing carrying Aquaman. Oh, which Batman is going to be in it? Nobody cares. At this point, they're just like, who's Batman now? And now people are going to be way confused with that Brave and Bold, because like, oh, you mean to tell me we got Robert Pattinson and well, that's Elseworlds. Who? People are going to be confused.
Yeah. I don't know. But I mean, again, okay, that was a special case. Oh man, I kind of want to see the Wakanda Forever teaser trailer again because it was amazing.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
When I seen that the claws come out of the suit at the last clip, man, the room went crazy when that happened. Crazy. It was like, oh my God, who is that? It was just crazy, man. Like
it's on my desk right now. So something like that. Yeah. Which the box just said Black Panther, and I was like, oh gee, I wonder who it is. You know, and the figure came the figure dropped like 1 month later in stores, and they were like, I wonder who it is. Like, who do you think, man? Who do you think it is? So like, no.
I remember seeing that trailer, and like my eyes were like kind of teary, so I didn't get like a great vision of like the scene at the end where the claws come out. So for a brief second, I was like, is it Killmonger? Because like I just saw like an arm, and I was like, is it Killmonger? And then they actually played it again, and I was like, oh, that's a woman's body.
That's a woman's body.
So I was like, okay, like it's I will admit, I was like, we were all speculating. Nobody knew who it was. It's like it's either Nakia, Queen Ramonda, or Shuri.
Yeah,
like you're pretty much down to the. Which I was like, okay. Doesn't make a lot of sense for Nakia to be like. I was like, she's not in the family by blood. Right. So like to me, it was like Nakia would be kind of cool, but like kind of like out of left field. So I think they made the right choice making it Shuri, because it's like, who else do you make it?
Who else do you make it?
Queen Ramonda. I mean, cool, but that would be another kind of like we need the queen to be the queen. You know, like I don't need her out on the battlefield.
Yeah.
So making it Shuri, I think, was the right decision.
100%. Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens with Aquaman too. I mean, I don't know. I'm still gonna show up.
Of course.
Like, I'm still gonna be there. I hope it's good. I hope it's fun. You know, that's all I can expect. I have faith in James Wan enough that I can hope for that. So, at least a fun movie, if nothing else. So, you know, fingers crossed on that one. This is all I'm gonna say. Yeah,
I'm kind of just like, we'll see what ends up happening with that one. But hey, maybe it could just surprise us and be something crazy. So we'll have to wait and see. 100%. I got a question for you. I posted this on Twitter a couple hours ago.
Okay.
So Kevin Feige just appointed you as the new head of Marvel Studios.
Yeah.
What is your first move? And I'm going to add a caveat. It cannot be rebooting.
Okay. No, I don't want to reboot anyway. I don't think it's too late to reboot.
Yeah. People are saying reboot. And I'm like,
If you wanted to reboot the MCU, that was 10 years ago. Because after the first Avengers, I was like, you can't go back now.
No, you can't You can't step backwards.
Yeah, it's over now. At this point, whatever you do next, you're in. So the time to reboot was a long time ago. That time has passed. Here's what I will do, and I think this is the unanimous answer a lot of people will give you right now: cut down the Disney Plus shows.
Yeah,
I really think we need to take a step back until we can figure out what the hell to do with those properly. And because especially after Secret Invasion, I'm like, guys, this is a big storyline. We did this in 6 episodes. We needed more time. This needed more time to. First of all, it needed more episodes.
Yeah.
And second of all, this is not something that you can start and end in one sitting. And the problem is that a lot of the MCU shows for me on Disney Plus have had this weird thing where they're like, we have to finish up the storyline by the last episode.
Yeah.
Which is like, no, you don't. You've already made clear you plan on continuing certain things into the movies. Just tell the story as best as you can, and then it's fine. You can use that as you want to continue the story later on down the line, that's fine. You're not going to be the first franchise in history to have pulled that kind of a move. It's been done before. South Park did it, for Christ's sake.
For crying out loud, right?
Yeah, it's like South Park did it 2 seasons in the 90s, and that movie still comes up to this day. So it's fine. It's not like a crazy idea, but like, I don't know. Man, what happened? Like especially with the first couple of episodes of Secret Invasion, I was like,
I was so reeled in, man. I was real with you. The first 2, I was like,
yeah, I was having a good time.
Yeah, I loved the first 2. I was like, we're in for some good TV here.
Yeah.
And we get to episode 3, still interested, and then everything just fell off a cliff.
Everything.
And I was like, okay, what happened to the like secret espionage level like MCU show that I signed up for in these first 2 episodes?
Yeah.
Like it just fell apart completely. And what I found weird was, why are we, and I'm totally spoiling here, sorry.
Go for it.
Why are we giving Captain Marvel powers to a new character when we could just have Captain Marvel herself show up?
Yeah, because this is the part where she should show up. This is the show.
Right. I'm like, okay, so you mean to tell me Captain Marvel's flying across all these planets and such? And she's like, Earth is fine. Earth is cool. Those Avengers kids got it. But when Thanos was here, I'm going to fly on back. And I'm just like, so that's one big thing about the MCU. And I'm totally going off the rails here. But they just haven't known how to handle Captain Marvel. That's all I'm going to say there. But Secret Invasion, just complete disappointment. Like that's, of any of the MCU projects, that's easily my most disappointed MCU project ever. And I know people don't like Eternals. But I loved Eternals. Mm-hmm. I liked Falcon and Winter Soldier. Yeah, the end was pretty disappointing, but I did like seeing Sam in the suit. I did like the theme of the black man wearing America's suit. I thought that was a cool beat that they hit on towards the end. While the end was kind of disappointing, and even WandaVision's end was a little rough. This was just like completely like, oh, we're like giving this character abilities to grow Drax arms, and it was just the weirdest 180 a MCU show made. Like, and I liked Moon Knight, I liked Miss Marvel, I loved Miss Marvel, loved WandaVision, but this was the MCU D plus show for me. Then I was like, okay, we got to slow down, because you cannot get that much talent and flub like that.
Yeah, no, that was a shame. No, I loved a lot of this. I actually liked Eternals overall quite a bit too.
Yeah.
I mean, like I remember I watched Eternals after the reviews dropped, and it was like when I went to see it, I think it was like 49% or something on Rotten Tomatoes. I was like, oh damn, let's see what happened. And then I'm halfway through the movie, and I was like, this is better than a 49%. Like, what is happening here? But then I was like, okay, yeah, it's a polarizing film, fine. But yeah, no, I've enjoyed most of the Disney Plus shows, except for the finales. Every now and then they kind of fell off. Like I can honestly say I loved Moon Knight up until the finale. Moon Knight, I was like locked in. Then the last bit became big CGI battle, and I'm like, but
they straight up became kaiju and Moon Knight. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, but Miss Marvel's finale I loved. I thought it was a solid way to do that one, because it's like, yeah, I expect her to finally use that power, so it makes sense.
I think Miss Marvel had the strongest beginning and end of all of them, and I think WandaVision had the strongest middle. And then the rest kind of, I know Loki's like the beloved treasure. For me, the first 3 episodes, I was kind of, and then when we got to the multiple Lokis, I was like, yo, okay, I'm hooked in. Yeah. And that to me was an example of, these need 10 episodes, man. They got to really stop rushing to get to the conclusion so much, because every show, the power broker wasn't figured out until the last episode. Kingpin didn't come into the end of Hawkeye. I'm like, dude, we got to stop rushing to get to the conclusion and let these stories breathe. That's why the Daredevil seasons worked. They didn't have to rush like a bullet train in the last 2 episodes.
Right. I mean, at least in the case of Hawkeye, it's like, you're going to see Kingpin again. He's coming back and born again. So, and that's 18 episodes, I believe. So it's like, okay, you've got Hallelujah, right? So at least you've got some time on that one. But yeah, I don't know. I don't like the 6-episode format. I've never liked the 6-episode format. I was like, why are we doing things in 6 episodes? What is the obsession with 6 episodes? Just do 8 episodes, do 10 episodes. It's fine. We'll watch it. Like I remember when Andor went to 12, and I was like, thank God it's going to 12 episodes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Sheesh.
Please take your time. WandaVision, Loki, and What If are my top 3. If you think of the shows, my top 3 is Loki, Miss Marvel, and WandaVision. So,
that's fair. Yeah, I think my top 3 are WandaVision, absolute number 1. Number 2 would have to be Miss Marvel. Yeah. And then probably Loki, number 3.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. I think that sounds about right. I mean, but Secret Invasion's way at the bottom. Bottom. Yeah, I mean, I would say the top 5 is kind of rounded out by what was there? Moon Knight and am I forgetting Hawkeye? I guess.
That's fair. I kind of got Hawkeye toward the bottom. Not gonna front.
Mostly I'll give Hawkeye the point only because of I like Kate Bishop a lot in it.
She was great, and I thought her and Yelena, I was like, they should have been in the show together way more, because when they were together, it was hilarious. Love their dynamic. I like the kind of extremely trained versus just getting started kind of dynamic here. I really like the two of them. I love Yelena anytime she's on screen. I think Florence Pugh kills that role. So if they do a Hawkeye season 2, I'm like, I really need the two of them to be like Hawkeye, Black Widow. Like, we got to have the two of them duoed up, because that was a brilliant duo in my opinion.
No, it worked. I thought it was a great duo.
Oh, I'm forgetting something.
What did you forget?
My number 3, y'all gonna hate me.
What is it?
I'm bumping down Loki. Y'all gonna hate me. She-Hulk.
Oh yeah, okay.
I love She-Hulk, man. I think She-Hulk, I got so much hate, and I get it. But I mean, I just thought it was like super easy to just kick back and watch She-Hulk. Yeah. I didn't even like do reviews because I was like, I'm having so much fun just chilling and watching this. Like I would, people would stay up till midnight and watch the shows. I would get up the next morning and have a bowl of cereal and just watch She-Hulk. It was fun. It was casual. Yeah. The wedding episode was probably my least favorite, but the rest of them I liked. I liked Tatiana Maslany. Yeah, I thought it was kind of relatable to singles in their 30s. And I also liked the dynamic between her and the other characters on the show. I like, and when Daredevil came in, that was great. I mean, they had a hallway scene in it. I was like, okay, MCU, what we doing? But yeah, I really liked She-Hulk, and I know it gets a lot of hate, but I liked it. I liked it a lot.
Oh, I had fun with it. I even liked the finale, which got divided like points.
Oh my God, I
but
love it.
Yeah, like when it cut to the Disney Plus screen, I was like, wait, what are we doing? And then she
Same.
breaks it. And then she breaks it. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, all right.
I'm like checking on my remote. I'm like, what? What happened? Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Hey guys, I rewatched Superman 1978 last night. Great movie.
What's
so
up, Kyle?
Good to see you, man. I'm so glad that My Adventures is getting people excited about Superman again. I haven't seen that yet, actually. But what have you seen it yet?
Oh yeah, I completed all 10 episodes.
Oh shit! Okay.
Loved it. Right. I think this is the Superman I've wanted like for a very long time, and nothing against Cavill because Cavill's got the look. I just think him and Zack Snyder as the pairing, for me at least. I think Man of Steel is not exactly what I wanted out of Superman, and then BVS about the same thing. Now, hear me out, guys, and this is gonna be controversial. But I do think Henry Cavill's best performance as Superman is actually Justice League because he came in. I didn't like the lip thing, but he came in and he just like came in and saved the day. And I'm like, that's very Superman. And he's like cracking jokes a little bit. And I'm like, this is the Superman that I wanted, the hope, the beacon of hope, the symbol of peace. And that's what My Adventures with Superman got correct, in my opinion. He is the selfless, helpful, kind, like beacon of light that I think of when I think Superman. And I know different writers handle Superman completely differently, but that's the Superman I love. I love that Superman that's just helpful and selfless and there to save the day. And like the trope of people getting saved at the last minute is from Superman. So like that's why I know I see Kyle. I see you, Kyle.
I think he just unsubscribed to you.
He's like, unsub. Oop. I know Kyle. But the thing is, he came in and saved the day last minute and he made it feel hopeful. I didn't like Justice League, by the way. But I was like, and we had the Richard Donner theme in there. I was like, hold on, man. Not that Snyder's Justice League. I actually like Snyder's Justice League way more, but they didn't need Superman, which made sense for the characters, by the way. I'm like, you got Aquaman up there, you got Wonder Woman. Do they really need Superman? Like, they were handling business. So I did like that made a lot more sense. It's like, you got Cyborg, you got Wonder Woman, you got Aquaman, and Batman as a strategist. You really, in that scenario, you don't need Superman. But for him to come in like a system, awesome. Like, but yeah, I like that kind of save the day. And that's what My Adventures gets so right, man. Like, check that one out. Only thing is the episodes are very quick. Very quick. And it focuses a lot on Superman, Lois, and Jimmy. So there's a lot of dynamic between the three of them. So a lot of the episodes will follow Lois and Jimmy and Superman. So you'll see a lot of Lois Lane and Jimmy Olsen as well.
That's fine.
Some of the best versions of those characters too, by the way. Very funny Jimmy Olsen. Very cool Lois Lane. Some weird complaints online, but she acts exactly like Lois. Does whatever she does to get the story. She's very confident, very brave. I mean, it's very Lois Lane. So some of the complaints, like people are like, why would she do that? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, that's Lois Lane to a T. She's going to do whatever it takes to get the story. Lois is quick.
Yeah, I mean, I expect Lois Lane to go the distance on certain things as a character. Yeah, no, that's fine with me. Which reminds me, I also have to watch Superman and Lois. Damn.
Oh man, that show. I'm behind. I'm so behind, like a season behind. I love that show.
The whole CW thing I've been off on, but
and I'll tell you this. I mean, Arrowverse as a whole, but like that show, Diamond in the Rough.
All right. I was the only one I was caught up on for a while was The Flash. That was the one that I was in, and then somewhere along the way there was a crisis thing that happened. And then they were like, hey, so to understand what's happening in this episode, you have to watch Batwoman and Legends of Tomorrow and Arrow, and I was like, no, I don't want to do all of that. I just want. Can I just watch this? Can I just watch this? And they're like, no, you have to watch 2 seasons of this show first, and then 3 seasons of that. So I was like, no, this is like. That's insane.
Yeah, like, oh no, heck no.
Yeah, thank you. I'll pass on that. But I'll see it at some point, But I've heard nothing but the best things about Superman and Lois. So yeah, I'm gonna check that one out for sure.
The woman who plays Lois Lane, her name is Bitsy Tulloch in Superman and Lois. Best Lois Lane ever, in my opinion. She is amazing. She's sharp. Great. I mean, even like her comedic beats of very few, very good timing. Her emotional moments are amazing, gripping. And I like that this is a different Superman than we've seen. This is Dad Superman. They've got twins together. So I like that this is like mom and pop Lois Lane. Like we're seeing them through a different lens than what we usually see them through. So I like that a lot, man. I really like this show. I like that show. I think that and Stargirl are like the 2 Arrowverse shows that like steadily stay at a really high quality. The rest of them are very lopsided. Arrow's got its good seasons. Flash has its good seasons, but as a whole, it's kind of lopsided. They're all pretty lopsided. And yeah, you're right. The Crisis event, dude. I was like, this is too much, man. Because I actually never watched the Arrowverse, but once the 4th season of Flash came out, caught up on all of it, dude. Like I went through Arrow. I went through Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, Supergirl, all of them. I got caught up to that point, and I was like, I don't know if I can keep going. Like I was just like, this is just too much, man. Like they're inconsistent. Some of them are so bad. Supergirl, I'm sorry. I did like what's her name, Melissa
Benoist.
Yeah, Benoist. She was cool.
Yeah,
I did not like that at all, though. That's Supergirl. Woo.
I mean, I'll get to it at some point. There's a lot of shows that were on network TV, comic book related, that I have to catch up on. A lot of the CW stuff. I have never finished Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I'll finish it at some point.
Yeah, that one I didn't finish either.
I got to
season 1.
I didn't even get. Did I get through season 1? Like I don't know. I think I crawled through season 1, and then because I wasn't loving it, and then somewhere along the way people were like, "Oh, it gets better." I was like, "Fine, I'll get to it at some point." I saw the one with Ghost Rider, the one with Gabriel Luna.
Okay, you're way further than me.
Yeah,
because I got through season 1 and was like, "This is pretty good," and it never came back.
Right, like that, that one was nice. I think at some point in time they alluded to the fact that Ghost Rider, the Johnny Blaze one, is also there. I was like, oh, that's nice. Can I see them in the movies too? No, okay.
Nope.
So thank you very much. But yeah, that's about as far as I went with that. I watched 1 season of Cloak and Dagger. I did not see season 2 of it. For season 1 was fine. Season 1 was fine. The 2 leads for Cloak and Dagger were pretty good. Like I like them. I watched the first episode of season 2, and then I got busy with something else, and then I was like, well, I'll catch up to it at some point. And there's actually a poster of season 1 lying somewhere.
Oh snap!
Yeah, for which I got at Comic-Con. I was like, well, cool. So I think it's a wanted poster of the 2 of them. It's
oh sweet.
Yeah, so whatever.
Yeah, that one and the Runaways. I caught the Runaways season 1. It was all right. Like they were just kind of so underutilized. I thought they were like very underwhelming. Kyle saying Stargirl is underrated. Beck Bassinger is so charming as Courtney. Yeah, very underrated. Joel McHale is hilarious in the show. Yeah, very very underrated CW production. And then one, maybe you'll disagree, Kyle. One that I really like, that's so just chill, lay back week to week, is Doom Patrol over on Max. I'm quite a bit behind, but all that I've seen seasons 1 through 3. Loved what I've seen so far. I love that it's just like crazy and kooky. It doesn't take itself seriously. And I did check out one of the panels over at Fandom, and the writers literally were like, "Yeah, we just literally come up with like a ton of ideas in a room, and then we just go with it. Like the wildest things. We just come up with wild shit and we just make it an episode. I'm like, that's the show I want.
I love
Casual, don't have to follow it too closely. It's just wild shit.
No, I think that's awesome. I mean, I love Doom Patrol. That's probably my favorite one. I have to watch the final season of Titans. I haven't seen it, but I'll say that. Listen, I'll say this: the first season's rough. Second season's better. It kind of improves along the way. I can give that credit to it. But
the Jason Todd season, good season.
Yeah, that was a third one, right? Yeah,
the third one.
Yeah.
I gotta admit, I was like, I like what they did with Red Hood. I like the Jason Todd stuff. Yeah. That was really good. 4, it's not bad, but it's not their best. I think 3 was, at least in my opinion, was their peak.
Oh, okay. So I'll check it out at some point. I mean, the only thing I got from season 3 is like a spoiler. I mean, I knew Red Hood was happening. As soon as soon as he showed up in season 1, he's like, "I'm Jason Todd." I was like, "This guy's gonna become Red Hood." And literally, you already know. And I think my dad watched it and he was like, "I don't want to spoil anything." I was like, "Dad, I've read the comics. I know what happens." like
Red Hood.
Yeah, I know what happens. I've even played a game where he turns out to be actually Red Hood in disguise. But anyway, that was Arkham Knight. Yeah. Like when he took off the Arkham Knight mask and then he has a red visor after, I was like, oh, could have just done that. Could have just done that from the start, my guy.
Right.
but yeah. I'll catch up on that at some point. I'll get to it. I think the only time I've been consistent with any shows was the Marvel Netflix run. That was the only time. Yeah, that was the only time.
Punisher, Luke Cage, and Jessica Jones. Luke Cage fell off, in my opinion. I think when Cottonmouth was around,
I was just watching season 1 again earlier, the whole Cottonmouth arc. It's just the best thing ever. Diamondback was okay, the second half of that season.
Yeah.
But then the second season, I liked I like the whole Mariah thing and Bushmaster.
Okay, you like the Mariah Shades thing going on?
I liked her as the villain. I didn't like the dynamic was weird.
I was like, them two together? I don't know. I didn't like it.
Yeah, I don't know. But like, there was a couple of moments where I was like, oh, she's menacing. Like, I like there's that scene where she like massacres the entire diner or something.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Alfred Woodard killed it, man.
Yeah, I was like, oh shit. Like, okay, this is intense now. Like I respected that one. But then like Jessica Jones, I loved the first season.
Loved.
Like Kilgrave thing was
Kilgrave. Oh, you were right. He said it's about to come down. The Kilgrave season was amazing. I mean, that was one of their best.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm with you. I didn't quite love the next season. I don't know. I thought the mom stuff was a little so.
Right.
Kyle, you talking? No, you can't get on me about Justice League, Kyle. You like Iron Fist.
I will give Iron Fist season 2 some break because that was an improvement.
But season 1, and I'm sorry, man. Old Finn, what's his name that played
Finn Jones.
Finn Jones, who played Iron. I'm sorry, not the right dude.
The best right guy. I liked him in that one episode in Luke Cage, like when he showed up. Like he was good in that one episode.
Yeah. Then the Luke Cage stuff. When he was with Mike Coulter, I thought they had a cool dynamic, and I was like, "Hey, heroes for hire, let's go!" Because in terms of comic books, I'm really into the street level heroes, so I was like really into heroes for hire. Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Spider-Man. I read a lot of Fantastic Four, Hulk, a lot of that stuff. X-Men I got into gradually as I was older. But I love these heroes. So I'm like, let's do the heroes for hire, the Twin Dragons. Let's do the Jessica Henwick's character. I loved her becoming Iron.
I hope they bring her back. I really hope they bring her back. Honestly,
Shang-Chi too. Perfect opportunity to bring her back. I hope
so. Because they were already like, we're bringing back the Netflix characters. Like they're already bringing back Daredevil and all. I was like, bring back Iron Fist, and they're like, no, Finn Jones. I was like, no, Iron Fist.
We're talking Jessica Henwick.
Yeah, Colleen Wing. She's Iron Fist right now. She's around.
She was great. I liked her in the first season, second season.
Yeah.
But gosh, Finn Jones, I was just like,
yeah.
I'm sorry,
And also, I think Kristen Ritter as Jessica Jones is an amazing
yeah,
casting.
bring her back.
Yeah, I want to see her again.
Can I be honest? Bring back everybody but Finn Jones. I hate to be that dude, but I'm like, just paste in Jessica Henwick and we got a good Defenders team. Which, by the way, Defenders started off really strong. I like Sigourney Weaver as the villain. She was awesome. Mm-hmm. And then when they freaking killed her off and brought back Elektra, I was like, what the hell?
Which, speaking of, that's the question we just got. What did you think of Elektra and the Hand? I liked Elektra. I liked the version of Elektra. I think the storyline with Elektra was a little wonky, but
I liked them in Daredevil. In Defenders, though, I was like, like we didn't need to kill off Sigourney and have her take over, and I was like, no, didn't like that.
Yeah, no, but I liked Elektra's character. I mean, I guess she's dead, or is she? I don't know. Like they seem to.
They hinted at her being dead.
They hinted at her. Well, they hinted at both of them dying in that explosion, but then Daredevil's fine. So.
Daredevil's good, yeah. So maybe she made it out.
She probably made it out. She's probably somewhere. But
meanwhile, Daredevil sneaking through the MCU, sleeping with She-Hulk. He's gonna be an Echo. I'm like, this man about to get around, ain't he? Matt Murdock making his way around.
Right. I don't like how Matt treated Karen after Elektra showed up. Yeah, season 2 is that one. That's where things kind of went weird with some character dynamics.
Yeah, the two of them, it was kind of like, no.
Yeah, but then 3 improved it. They fixed it.
Yeah, for sure. But I did like the Punisher coming in season 2. That was a great change to the story. I was like, dude, this is an edgy, great Punisher, which I'm going to be real with y'all. I loved the Punisher show.
No,
I thought Daredevil and Punisher were like the two great shows to come from that Netflix crowd. And then Jessica Jones season 1. Those 3 were just like top tier. Some of Marvel's best work ever.
No, Punisher season 1 I really loved. I still listen to the score for Punisher season 1.
Oh, it's so good, dude.
Yeah, especially the score towards the end of the season when it's like he has that vision and he's like, I'm home, and he starts beating that guy. I was like, fuck yeah. This is awesome. Good, man. Yeah, this is uncensored now. We're using fuck. So
good.
But that was great. Season 2 with Jigsaw is his name? Was it this name?
Yeah, Jigsaw. Yeah. It was okay. It wasn't the best.
Yeah, it was fine.
It was okay. I did like Billy Russo, though. I thought Ben Barnes was great.
Yeah. No, he was great. I think he's been great in everything I've seen him in, except for Narnia. But then I'm sorry, he just started out when he was in Narnia. You know, I'll give him a break on that one. So, but
I'm gonna be real with you. I always be forgetting he's King Caspian, and then I go back and I was like, oh yeah. He just didn't fit that to me.
Yeah, he was better in the next one. Because he was in the third one. Yeah. That one he was better in. The first time, I was like, I don't know. But then...
I was like, I don't know, Prince Caspian. I don't know.
Yeah. Especially because if you read the book, the Caspian character is much nicer. Anyway.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. The movie kind of fucked around with that one. Yeah. I told you.
Aslan was great in the movie, but I was like, this ain't really King Caspian.
Yeah. I still use the line from the first movie from Aslan. It's like, don't tell me about the histories. I was there when it was written. Like, when people talk about nostalgia.
I was there when it was written.
Yeah.
Like Blackberry, and I'm sure teenagers see that movie, and I was like,
I was there
when it was written.
Yeah, that's me with Taylor Swift these days. When teenagers are like, "Are you listening to it?" I was like, "I was there day one. I have known before you guys even thought."
He's like, "I was in the country days."
I remember it was like 2008 and some brother poster. Fucking Christ, motherfucker.
That poster, man, it don't want to behave.
What is going on with this fucking thing?
They quickly pointed out, brother, the poster.
I appreciate the poster point out, guys. I think this means it's we're gonna need some new stuff to hang it up. Damn it.
So I think if I had control over the MCU, the first thing I would do is I would get them D+ shows back in the hands of whoever was doing Netflix.
Yeah.
Get these shows out of the hands of Kevin Feige and them. Get it back into somebody's hands who, by the way, I think the shows should take place kind of outside the MCU. I love that Daredevil had the accident, the incident with the big green monster. That's the only reference to the MCU it had, and a few others. But come back to that.
Come back to
that. I just figure you agree, hell yeah. But
I do agree with that. This is the coffee hitting finally. It's
I'm here.
Stay. Fucking stay.
It's like a dog. Stay.
Don't fucking yeah, all the other ones are sticking up, so I'm assuming I did a better job with putting those up than this one. That's a shame. Oh man. The best poster that stayed up in this room is the Spider-Verse one, because even the room acknowledges it's a great movie.
Oh yeah. The room is nah, we're not gonna let that one lean down.
Yeah, no, that one's the legend poster up in here.
Did you ever watch Hit Monkey?
Yes.
It came out on Hulu. Was it good?
Yes. Yeah, it was fun. If you like Deadpool, then yeah, you're gonna love it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty good. Like Jason Sudeikis plays this dead assassin who keeps talking to him like a ghost and keeps leading him through stuff. It's pretty awesome.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's pretty great. I think I saw that during lockdown with my dad, which is a weird thing to watch with your dad, but fuck it.
Fuck it, it was good. Yeah.
Whatever.
I'm waiting on my dad to continue Warrior, and I'm I'm gonna have to leave you in the dust, man. I cannot wait for you to catch up on Warrior.
Oh yeah, wait, has my dad seen Warrior? No, I don't know. I think he saw the first season of it, and he was recommending it to me, and I was like, yeah, I think we're a little more ways in.
Yeah, Warrior. I gotta catch up, man. I heard this recent season was
yeah. And plus, I like Andrew Koji, so I want to see.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, I did. Except for Snake Eyes, that movie sucked.
Yeah, I was just about to ask you. Him and Henry Golding and Snake Eyes. I was like,
yeah. I think if the movie was about his character Storm Shadow, if it was about him, that would have been a better movie.
It wasn't. How are we gonna have a Snake Eyes movie and he only wear the mask in the end? I was like,
yeah. Speaking of Snake Eyes, I was at my comic book store earlier, the local one, and they still have the entire line of action figures from that movie lying on the shelf. Nobody has bought it yet, so they've got Henry Golding, Andrew Koji, Samara Weaving, and all the other people.
Ain't nobody buying that.
Ain't nobody buying it. I was like, can at least someone who's a fan of one of the actors buy the action figure?
Honestly, I'd look over and be like, $2, I'll take them off your shelf.
It's for $20, not a chance.
A piece?
Yeah, a piece.
Oh,
retail pricing. I'm like, I'm not buying it. No.
They're not selling those.
They're not selling those.
I'd give them 20 for the whole thing, though.
Yeah,
but they got 5 figures. I
think because it was 5 figures or 4. They have 4. They have 4 over there. They have those 3. They have those 3. They have Snake Eyes. They have Storm Shadow. They have Scarlet, and they have Baroness. Those 4. So. Why the hell do I remember the characters' names?
Yeah, you remember all of them. But I figured maybe you were a huge G.I. Joe fan, and I was like, that's the one fandom that I'm like, whoop.
I do like G.I. Joe, but I was never the biggest G.I. Joe fan. I had a friend of mine who was super into G.I. Joe, and so he was like, he loved, but he also mostly had stuff from Cobra, toys, he had a Cobra, I have a Cobra Commander action figure from when I was 5 years old from McDonald's. So
shit.
Yeah, they had a G.I. Joe Happy Meal thing in early 2000s, and I have a Cobra Commander action figure. So yeah,
there you go.
There you go. And that's about the extent of my G.I. Joe love. So but I knew enough about it that when I watched Rise of Cobra and Retaliation and Snake Eyes, I'm like, nah, this is not good. This is not the G.I. Joe that I know about, So I don't know if I'm loving this. But then Rise of Cobra came out after like the first writer's strike happened that time, so it was it kind of suffered.
Kind of got affected.
It got
Yeah.
affected, that one, and then same thing for X-Men Origins Wolverine. So it was just, it's one of those.
Raul in the comments brings up a good point. The Transformers G.I. Joe movie is an exciting idea.
I honestly thought it was impossible until 2 months ago. So
same. And then when I was like, "What's that card?" He's getting what? Yeah. I freaked out. I will admit. Me and my cousin were seeing it. We're like, "Oh my god!" Like we definitely freaked out when we saw that.
No, it was crazy. That was a fun moment. I saw that in an empty theater. I'm sorry.
Transformers?
Yeah, I saw it also because I saw it at like 9:00 in the morning and there was like nobody there.
Oh, well, yeah.
So, yeah. And so I was just kind of like, hey, this is an early screening, right? And they were like, yeah, it's at 9 a.m. I was like, I'm the only person in the theater and it's in 3D. It's like, yeah, fine. We'll run the movie. I was like, all right. So I got a private screening of Rise of the Beast. So I was the only. So if you ever go to that particular theater and if you ask them who was that one guy in like the 9:00 in the morning who was going, yay, in the end of the movie, it was me.
It was you. You were that guy.
I was that one guy.
I love that.
It's fine, and
that was me with A Star Is Born. I saw that on a Sunday, a couple Sundays after it came out, and it was me and one other lady just.
Oh wow!
There, I'm up in the top row, just bawling my eyes out.
Jeez, I was
after the garage scene.
I'll tell you this about Star Is Born. I went and saw that with two other friends. I was going to see it anyway, but then two friends of mine just called me out of nowhere, and they're like, "Hey, we're going. Do you want to join us?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, sure." So we show up there, and we're all like, "What? I think what was this like 2018? I think we're like early 20s and all that." So we show up to this local theater and it's completely sold out. And we're like, all right, let's get it. And you're not going to believe this. We were the youngest people in the theater.
Oh, no, I believe it.
Yeah, everybody. Yeah, the median age of that theater was 50. And yeah.
The other versions of Star Is Born are beloved.
Right.
The Barbra Streisand and all the other versions. Dude, they're beloved, bro.
Yeah.
The older community loved them some Star Is Born.
Yeah, but we were all crying. We were all bawling our eyes out. We went after that. We went to get like something to eat, and we were just like standing in the line with tears on our eyes. And the people were like, "What happened to you guys?" It's like we just watched Stars.
Star Is Born is what happened.
I blame Lady Gaga for this. So, but I also remember watching it that time and thinking, well, this is my best. That's the one time I made Oscar predictions that, hey, Best Picture, Best Actor, let's do it. And then it won neither of those things. So,
and see, I was like, Bradley Cooper, I think got snubbed that year.
For director.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, like what?
Yeah.
How did he not make it in? He always kind of gets like bunted out.
He does.
Because what, Silver Linings Playbook? Wasn't he not even nominated for that?
He was.
Okay, but he didn't win.
He didn't win.
J-Law did.
J-Law did. He's been nominated a lot. He was nominated for that.
He was nominated. Out, man.
He was nominated for American Hustle. He was nominated for American Sniper.
And keeps missing out each time. I'm like, dude.
Yeah. After 10 to 15 years.
I think could have been his get, but.
Yeah, after 10 to 15 years, we will get another Stars Born movie for sure. Yeah, it'll probably have some TikTok actors in it. I don't fucking.
Because like what was that? The Rami Malek year?
But yeah, Bohemian Rhapsody. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I liked him in the movie. The movie was okay when you look back on it. But then that was the year.
That was a pretty decent movie. I liked it.
Yeah, but then the movie that won was Green Book, which which. I was like, no, like if you ask me, if you ask me, did I like Green Book? I was like, I mean, it was fine. But if you ask me, was that the best picture of that year? No.
Any other movie could have won on that list, in my opinion.
Any other movie.
I was like, Green Book.
Cool. Like at that point, I was like that year was Black Panther was nominated and like a few other Black Clans were nominated and a few other ones were nominated. I was like, give it to these. Give it to anything else.
But anything else, man.
anything else. Or even Bohemian. Oh, okay, well, not Bohemian Rhapsody. That was not Best Picture, but
yeah, because it was like what Bohemian, and then Black Klansman was in that lineup.
Yeah,
it was a good. I mean, Spider-Verse should have been in that lineup. It was a good list, that decent list that year, and I was just like, Green Book.
Yeah, my personal Best Picture for that year was Spider-Man.
There you go.
It was mine too. It was mine too. That was
should have been nominated in Best Pick. I'm like, what is up with them and just stopping the animation Best Picture?
They have a second chance.
Yeah, you know what? I think it's making it in the lineup this time.
I
think it is.
It's too good. It's too good to pass up. You know, I'm sorry.
Oppenheimer, Spider-Verse, Barbie. You might have stuff like Maestro in there. Poor Things, Saltburn. Those are a few that might make it in there. But probably. It's like, they gotta get Spider-Verse in there. Yeah, they gotta.
Like, this movie's too special. Like, I think the first scene happened. I was watching it with my friends across the Spider-Verse, and the first scene with Gwen and the whole montage you go through, I was like, this needs the Best Picture nomination right now. Like, we're 3 minutes in. It's like, this needs the nomination. We can't do this.
It's gotta get it, man.
Yeah, and I hope it does, because I've seen it so many times now, especially after it dropped on digital, and I love that movie.
I don't think it's gonna get the dub though. I think you might be right. Oppenheimer might. I think that's the dub.
I think, yeah. I mean, which I'm okay with, because I loved Oppenheimer too. I'm only looking for opportunity at this point, where I'm just like, it's like that thing, right? It's an honor to be nominated, so it's kind of like, I'm going with that for Spider-Verse. I'm like, at least give it a
right.
nod.
At least give it the nom. And then you got Barbie in there too. That'll probably be in the mix.
It's gonna get it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think Oppenheimer might end up being it, but I don't know. We're around the corner from a lot of Oscar movies.
Yeah, I hope.
Poor Things. Yeah. We're killed the Killer, David Fincher. We got a lot coming up.
Killers of the Flower Moon is not.
Yep, Killers of the Flower. That'll be nominated, I'm sure.
That will be. Yeah. I hope Past Lives gets love, because it was a good movie.
I think that has a chance to sneak in Best Pick. I think.
Well, at least screenplay,
at least screenplay and an actress for sure. Greta Lee's getting in that pack.
But
I don't know that. I think Best Pick could get a nom for Best Pick.
It could. That'd be nice, honestly. Oppenheimer for the win, please. See, they're all against you. This guy hates Oppenheimer. It's not in his top 10.
Don't mean I hate it. It's in my top 15. I liked Oppenheimer. Listen. I actually really liked Oppenheimer a lot. If you go to my channel, I said I loved it, but I can't put it above Barbie, and I got 10 movies ahead of it, unfortunately.
I was gonna get Amanda on this live stream. She's currently traveling right now. I was gonna be like, we're both gonna attack you for this. It's just like...
Listen, man, it's well deserved, because I'm like the only one that feels that way, but I'm okay with that. I'm just like, I know it'll get a Best Pick nom. It might get Best Pick, and it's deserved. It's a very well-made movie. I just think it very much slogs, depending on who you are, either in the beginning or the end. And it's too long, in my opinion. So if I'm thinking the Best Pick of the year, bumps it out for me.
All right, that's fair. Telling Leo, I wasn't crazy about Barbie. Enjoyed it for it was, but it wasn't.
Oh man, I got Barbie in my top 5.
I really like Barbie. In fact, I watched Barbie again because of the Cinema Day thing, and I liked it more.
Nice.
I liked it more on the second viewing, actually, and I already gave it like.
I gotta watch it again.
I gave it like a 9 the first time. I think it helps because the first time I didn't expect it to be the movie that it was, and then and then watching it again, it was kind of like, okay, now I know what I'm getting into. Let's give this another go. And then watching it again, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, now I can see how it all works. It's a lot better, and I kind of dig it. So a lot more now, And then I watched Oppenheimer again. I was like, this is better. So sorry.
I'm sorry. I've seen Oppenheimer twice. I've seen Oppenheimer twice, and please don't attack me for this, guys. Long day at San Diego Comic-Con, long weekend. Last thing we're seeing Oppenheimer at 11 p.m. at night.
Oh,
so I fell asleep.
No.
I fell asleep, but it wasn't even that long. It was like I knocked out for like 10 minutes. It wasn't like it was like, oh my God, like it's the last 30. Oh snap. Like
no, I understand that. like there's a couple, like I've been to a movie after a long Comic-Con day. It always sucks. You're just like, I'm not up for it right now. Yeah. Yeah, like I think I remember the weekends, like we were just talking about Star is Born. It was the weekend of New York Comic Con, and so I was there, and that was the same week Venom came out. So I watched.
Oh man.
Yeah, so I watched Venom before Comic Con, and then I was thinking on that Friday after Comic Con day, I'll go see Star is Born. But Comic Con drains the shit out of you, and yeah, and so after that, and then eventually I ended up in a Netflix panel, which was promoting shows like Haunting of Hill House at the time, and the Sabrina show, and the entire cast.
That was a good show, by the way.
Yeah, and the entire cast of Sabrina was there, and they were like, you know what, we're gonna do this amazing thing. We're gonna show you a trailer, and then they were like, oh, the trailer's running a little too long. It's past 2 minutes. Oh, actually, guys, this is the whole first episode. Enjoy. And so we ended up watching the first episode. Yeah, we ended up watching the first episode on the big screen with the
That's great.
Yeah, and so after that, I was like, I'm not doing Star is Born today. Fuck that. So I got back to my apartment and fell asleep. So
no, forget it.
No, I can't do it. Do it in the middle. If you're gonna go for a movie during Comic-Con, do it in the middle.
Yeah. See, that's what we did with Barbie. We saw Barbie at like 6. So I was like, oh yeah, I'm up, I'm good, we're good. Nice, and then ending it with Oppenheimer, I was like, ooh, I don't know if I'm gonna stay up the whole time.
Yeah, because that was what we did next year. Next year we had panels in the evening, so we were like, okay, we can't do a night movie, so let's do something in the middle. So I think the movie that time was Joker, and we ran into 95% of the Comic-Con press, like all the big names. And all the big names were there, like the guy, comic book guy, Brandon Beatty, like he was there.
Oh, Beatty, yeah.
Beatty was there. Perry Nemroff was there. All of us were in
Everybody
IMAX.
was just there, huh?
Yeah, we were in IMAX for Joker at like 4:00 in the afternoon, and we were watching Joker so we could get back and do the rest of the panels for the evening and watch the rest of it. So, yeah. We even ran into Roger Deakins over there, who was like won an Oscar for.
Wow.
Yeah, because that was I was like, who is that? And it's like, oh, that's Roger Deakins right there. I was like, how nonchalantly you're saying that? That guy's gonna win it. that guy's just won an Oscar. So
that's awesome. He was at the screening.
He had a panel of 1917 that time, and so he walks out with Sam Mendes, and I was like, that's happening right now. Like we're doing this.
That's cool.
Yeah, that was fucking nuts. And then we ran into Shyamalan downstairs because he was at the panel for Servant for Apple TV. So
cool.
Yeah, the Comic-Con is one weird place, Yep. You run into all kinds of people. What's the weirdest encounter that you've had at Comic-Con? I'll tell you mine in a second. You tell me yours.
Like bumping into someone or just
have you ever bumped into like a celebrity in the middle or?
No, not really. I've been to the San Diego and I've been to the one here. I think I saw recently Fan Expo. I think I seen like Charlie Cox walking through the hall, but he was like surrounded by like people. So I've never like seen anybody kind of just like walking around, to be honest with you.
Nice.
What about you? What was your encounter?
Peak of Game of Thrones. I ran into Sophie Turner on the floor.
What?
And she was doing a panel for Dark Phoenix that was about to come out at the time. Then it got delayed. And
oh man.
Yeah, and she was just there, and I was like, hey, look up. And then there she was just walking by, like, the fuck? Yeah, and then I moved away, and then like a little while later I look up on stage, I see this guy who's like talking, and this whole crowd surrounded, and it's Peter Jackson. And I was like, what is this convention? What is happening right now? Like the guy who did Lord of the Rings, just right in front of you on a chair.
Crazy, bro. See, that ain't happened to me yet, but
no.
One day.
Speaking of 1917, that movie is probably my first theater experience of the decade. Lol.
Actually, same for me. I mean, when did it come out? Early 2020?
I saw it in December 2019 at
I saw it January 2020.
Okay. Yeah. I think the first movie I saw in 2020 was Bad Boys for Life. So.
Oh, that was my second one. Yep. Right after. Which so weird. I'm like, didn't expect a pandemic. Me and my girlfriend at the time went to see that one. We loved it, which is like, it's weird. It was weird at the time, especially to like a January movie so much. But now you've had stuff like Megan come out in January, and January's kind of getting better now.
It's been getting better. But then I also watched Doolittle at that time, which was ass. So, you know, you got to get some stuff.
Yeah, that Doolittle, I skipped. I still ain't watched it. I was like, I'm cool.
Don't watch it. I think you're fine. It's fine, but it kind of is crazy because those were the first movies I watched at the start of the decade. Then pandemic happened. The movie I watched before the pandemic just began was Bloodshot, and and that was the last movie I watched in theaters till Tenet, I think. So yeah.
Oh, yeah, gosh, the pandemic, man.
Those were the days. Yeah, Tenet opened up theaters, and then I went and saw Tenet. But then, oh wow, that takes me back.
Right? Oh man, flashback.
Oh man, just sitting. My laptop became my theater for a while. I was just watching so many movies in my room.
Godzilla versus Kong. You know what? I did see that in a theater, and I was like one of 3 people.
Yeah, I wanted to see Godzilla versus Kong in a theater, and then I went. It was a drive-in, and I got to the drive-in, and then suddenly out of nowhere they were like, "Oh, our print is spoiled." It's like, what do you mean the print is spoiled? It's like our projector broke. Like,
oh,
sure, all right. And then 2 days later, they were like, okay, we lied. The projector was fine. So was the movie. The guy who was supposed to run it didn't show up. I was like, you could have just said that shit. Like,
why didn't you just tell us? Like,
we could have just been like, all right, so no one showed up, you know. But that
would suck, but we understand it.
Yeah, the projector broke. It's like, that's kind of hilarious. But anyway. But yeah, I mean, then I ended up watching it like through a screener that Warner sent at the time, so it's fine.
Yeah, I caught it on that, and then I went to a screening, and I was like, "Let's go!" It was dope on the big screen. I was like, "This is unreal."
Yeah, unfortunately, Delta hit that time, so I ended up seeing the next few things in screeners. So Mortal Kombat, I watched in the screener.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, In the Heights, I watched on a screener.
Yeah. In the Heights, I did catch in the theater too. That was one I got to catch in the theater.
That I would have loved to see in a theater because it was sound and and all that. I was like,
that would have been big and bright and
yeah,
it was awesome.
Yeah, it's a shame. I really like that movie actually. It was really good. But whatever. Yeah, it didn't do too well, but I wish it did. Oh well. But yeah, it's nice to be back in theaters now to watch other stuff.
Good to be back.
Good to be back.
Absolutely.
All right. Okay, so I'm gonna keep this on for another few minutes, and then I'm thinking wrap it up.
Sounds good.
Yeah, because I also have to get going somewhere. My friend's having a housewarming. He just got a new place. So
there you go. Cool.
Yeah, so I'm
actually going to watch Bahubali Part 2.
Nice.
The first part last night, I was just like, dude, this is so good.
Yeah.
I'm really getting into Tollywood lately, and I'm really enjoying it, man. I mean, I like RRR, and you start up Bahubali. I actually watched Bahubali after RRR. You can tell, same director, like pretty easy to tell. He loves those. He loves randomly inserting those slow-mos, but it always works. Like it's not excessive, and it's also not jarring. It's kind of like, it kind of helps this scene a little bit, give it a little more flavor. So real cool.
100%. Big Nolan fan, but 1917 over Dunkirk. Different movies.
I agree.
Yeah, but I mean, I love both of them. I haven't really done a comparison. Yeah, but
it's kind of hard to be like, well, one's like more of a drama, and one's like straight up like you're in the war, basically.
Yeah. Speaking of foreign entertainment, do you guys like anime shows and movies? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Uh-huh.
I think Suzume should be in the best animated picture lineup.
There you go.
Probably not gonna be because the Boy in the Heron.
Right.
Probably gonna be a Miyazaki sneak again, but
probably.
I still would love to see another anime movie outside of a Studio Ghibli making it.
Yeah.
We still haven't seen one.
Yeah.
We had Belle last year. and that should have made it in. I mean, I'm like, we've had what else? Your Name definitely should have made it in. That was the best Makoto movie.
Your Name did make it in, didn't it?
No, it was not nominated.
Is that right? Huh.
Which I was like, that's a snub. Like, that movie was so good.
Yeah, wow.
Talk about water-soaked eyes. That had me soaked up. Didn't make it in.
Huh. Yeah, everyone's talking about the live-action One Piece. Yeah.
So I just got what's weird is a friend actually just sent me in a group the Google Analytics for that, and it's like dead. Like, people aren't really searching for it. Which is weird because you see Wednesday and Stranger Things have these big spikes. And I was like,
I think Leo I think Leo is a fan of Spider-Man, judging by his energetic and positive attitude. You don't say.
I'm like, no, this chair, totally no clues around the background at all.
Not at all, no.
My favorite MCU movie, I'm sure you guys could guess it. So
yeah, no. If you want Spider-Man takes, subscribe to him. Like, this guy loves Spider-Man.
Thank you.
He'll probably give you a big recommendation on the Spider-Verse movies too. So
yeah, I know Seichin. I've been in a couple of spaces with him. He's popped up on the channel. It's good to see him. Man.
Yeah, awesome.
He's a good dude.
Awesome, fantastic. All right. Anything else before we call it for today? Or
one last little tidbit. Number one in the world now, Barbie.
Oh yeah,
number one. Outpaced everything else. I did not see that coming. Did not guess that.
I kind of did.
Oh, you did?
Oh, no, first you, then I'll say.
Yo, so last night I was going to watch Blackberry, and it's at like the little neighborhood theater, like super small, two theater rooms, an upstairs and a downstairs. Dude, there's like all these ladies, a woman and her partner on a date, going to Barbie. I'm like, it's still popular?
Yeah.
Still?
Yeah.
I just don't get it. I'm like, Barbie? Like, but yeah, it's still popular. And answering Aritra. Nice to see you. Yes, very excited for Spider-Man 2. Very excited.
Hell yeah. I'm actually just gonna later on head over to GameStop to pre-order it, put it in.
There you go.
So. Yeah, I'm gonna try doing the physical one because knowing online, I'll probably get a sold out when I try to order it. So I figured have a copy in hand and just pick it up directly and come by. So
that's the way to go, bro.
That's the way to go. That's the way to go. Yeah, and I'm excited to play it. I've played the other two multiple times. So yeah.
Oh yeah, so good.
Very, very excited. I just platinumed the first one. So
there you go. Nice.
Yep. Finally platinumed the first one. Because I finally did those stupid screwball challenges. I can't stand that woman. So, but I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I agree.
I get the character's whole point was just to be like, hey, social media sucks. I'm like, yeah, I know, but you're doing a good job of making me know this. Oh man, all that for the clout.
For the clout.
Yeah, all that for the clout. Like, Screwball definitely would take pictures in a suicide forest. Like,
yep.
Remember that? That was YouTube changed their entire guideline policy over that one dumb thing. Oh wow. I remember that. That was a fun one. I still remember Aaron Paul came out and he was like, "You're giving the last names a bad name, Logan. What the fuck?"
Right?
Like you don't represent us,
Mr. Paul.
Mr. Paul. Well. Anyway, all right. I'm gonna call it because I think we've answered all the questions. Or is there anything else anybody wants to know? Like, are we done, or do you guys want us to answer any more questions?
Yeah, let us know. I think we could totally call it, man. This has been a great stream. And I gotta get you back on my channel. We got the Geekly Goods Roundup every Sunday, so I will definitely be reaching out to you about that, man.
100%.
Gotta get you back.
I will be there. No matter what. So, yep. All right, guys. So we're just gonna call this. All right.
Take care, y'all.
All right. Take care. Thanks so much for coming
Peace
on,
out.
man.
Hey, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Awesome. All right. See you guys.